Hello and welcome to Meeple University How to Play Parade. Parade is a card game for 2 to 6 people where throughout the game you'll be playing cards into and collecting cards from this common parade of cards. The aim of the game is to score the fewest points, which is achieved by collecting the fewest cards or the lowest numbers of cards, or collecting sets of cards of the same colour. The game is played with a deck of 66 unique cards in 6 different colours, with each colour ranging from 0 up to 10. To start the game, each player will be dealt a hand of 5 cards, and there will be 6 cards in the parade. Players take turns placing one card onto the end of the parade and then collecting cards from the parade. In order to work out which cards are collected from the parade, the following process is taken. Look at the card which has been placed and look at its face value. Then count that many cards down the parade. These ones are safe, they will not be collected. Then, out of all of the remaining cards, the player takes any cards with a face value equal to or less than the card that he or she played, and any cards of the same colour as the card he or she played. So in this case, these 2 cards will be collected. They are then placed face up in front of the player in stacks representing their colours. The parade then shuffles down, and the player redraws up to a hand of 5. This is the same action that everybody takes on every turn, and so another card would be played out and the same process would be followed. In this case, 10 cards would be counted back. In that case, the entire parade becomes safe and the player collects no cards and draws another. This card were played, 1 card would be safe, and then all blue cards or cards with a number 1 or 0 would be taken. Each player takes this process in turn until the game end is triggered. The game end is triggered in one of 2 ways. Either the last card is taken from the draw deck, or one player collects at least 1 card in each of the 6 colours. Once the game end has been triggered, every player takes 1 more turn, taking all the cards that they will be required to take in that turn, but without redrawing. That will leave each player with a set of cards and 4 cards in hand. Finally, each player simultaneously chooses 2 cards to add to their collection and 2 cards to discard. Those are simultaneously revealed and added to the stacks. Once every player has taken that process, it's time for final scoring. At final scoring, each player will have a collection of cards in front of them, something like this. Going colour by colour, you evaluate which player has the most total cards of each colour and then flip those cards over. So for the red colour, these 2 players each have 2 cards versus this player's 1, so these would be flipped over. This is then done for all 6 colours. This player has the most black cards, this player has the most yellow cards, this player has the most blue cards, this player is the only one with purple cards, and this player has the most green cards. Then each player counts up his or her final score. The final score is equal to the face value of all face-up cards, plus 1 point for every face-down card. The player with the lowest score wins. In final scoring for the 2-player game, a player must have a majority of at least 2 cards rather than a simple 1-card majority in order to flip a colour. So in this 2-player scenario here, these black cards will be flipped as a 5-2 advantage, these would be flipped as a 5-1 advantage, and these would be flipped as a 2-0 advantage. But the red cards here and the blue cards here with only a single card advantage would stay face up, and their full face value would count to the final score.